Just up here to make sure that I know we're live and do a little intro and we'll get to it. Excited for a short little stream today. Should be about 15-20 minutes. And then we'll keep it rolling on to the next one. Got another national park to do after this. I might hit a third one, we'll see. But this was national park number 8. Looks like we're loading up here on my computer. Third one, we'll see. Cool. This was national. Awesome. What up? It's Papa. We're out here at Black Canyon of the Gunnison National Park. Now check it out. Black Canyon of the Gunnison National Park is our 55th national park. It was signed into a national park in 1999 by then President Bill Clinton. Now, we're at the very high point out here. I'm going to flip the camera around. Going to give you the high point view of the south rim. So there is a south rim part of the park and a north rim part of the park. You're definitely, if you're looking for the best views, everything like that, you want to go on the south rim side of Black Canyon of the Gunnison National Park. It is only a 7-mile stretch from that spot, but that's your best chance to see everything you want to see in the park. The north rim, if you want to get there from the south now, basically would take me a couple hours to get where I need to get. So definitely want to make sure you have that all mapped out and you just don't throw in your GPS which way you want to go or just randomly search for the national park, I guess. So I'm going to flip the camera around. We're going to see the high point out here in this canyon. And at the very bottom of this canyon is the Gunnison River, and it has some rapids. Anytime you're at one of the points here and looking down, all you can hear is the river just running down the valley of the canyon. So that's enough of me. Let's flip it back around here. Get you a nice view. Check that out. Look at that. Wow. Awesome view out here. Black Canyon, the Gunnison National Park. And let's get you rolling here. Make sure we're all lined up. Everything looks great. This may be our very best view of the canyon, so I'm not sure, so I'll stick around here for a minute, but it looks great. There's awesome views. Again, you can see the north rim across the way. We're on the south rim at the high point right now. Geologically, the north and the south rim look quite differently these days because of the sun. The sun hits the south rim like 63% of the day, and the north rim only like 20%. And so a lot of the north rim is just like that sheer cliff face, straight up and down, like the painted wall is that we'll see. And it's pretty hardcore. So let's get rolling. I think we're good stream-wise. So we'll just head on out of here. We're gonna go on this high point loop here and get rolling. Appreciate y'all joining me today as we roll up through Black Canyon of the Gunnison. So the main reason this became a national park, a couple main reasons I would say. One is it is the painted wall is the highest cliff face in the state of Colorado. That's that part. So that'd be one reason why it was. But the way the ground is here, the rocks that you see in the canyon are 2 to 4 billion years old, depending on where you're looking. And there's not a lot of metamorphic rock on the planet that's just visible. That's like that. Sorry for the bugs, y'all. I cleaned up my windshield like as soon as or right before I got into the park, and it was just the gnats getting me the whole time. So an awesome thing about the last 2 stops here at the park, at the very top and the one before it, which is Dragon Point, is that they are both home to the Utah Juniper tree, and that is a prehistoric juniper tree. And with that, they've had some fallout here where they grab them real quick and do their scientific research on them and count the rings and all that good stuff, and determine that some of the trees out here are 800 plus years old. So pretty cool. Just rolling around the rim and getting sights of the canyons. So you're gonna see this, what looks like thicket, a lot of thicket around outside the windows here. You can see here's a big bunch. We're coming up on the right side there. And look, all looks like thicket over here, and it's actually not. It's actually a oak some people call it a brush oak, but it's an oak. It's called a gambel oak. And that gambel oak lives here very well, actually. Obviously, there's tons of it everywhere. It lives here very well, but on top of that, the bears feed off those gambel oaks. You can see right outside your window right there on the right side, those little like thicket looking trees, those are actually oaks, and they're gambel oaks. So pretty cool. The bears feed off of those all year long. I didn't see any black bears yet today, but we're heading our way down around the rim, so who knows what we'll see. Sorry the windshield's so dirty. I will clean it again. I just clean it after every park and it does the same thing. Get a different view here on the canyon. See the canyon off to the left side. And just roll along. So you can notice that the view is hazy, right? Those mountains are all hazy in front of us on that north rim of the canyon. And that's because the wildfires are going crazy right now out here. I slept just outside the park and woke up and thought the world was on fire because of how heavy the wildfire smell was and all the smoke and haze outside. But it started to clear out a little bit in the area, but you can still, still smell it coming through my air vents as I drive. Make sure sound check, we're good. All right. So we're rolling still around the south rim here of Black Canyon. And wish we could get a look at the river at some point. We can see the canyon off to the left over there. We'll get past some of this and past some of these brush oaks. But awesome national park. It's not the biggest national park by any means, but it's a very beautiful one. A lot going on out here. If you stand on some of these overviews, check that out. That's the painted wall right there. The painted wall, that's the reason why this is a national park. You can see those granite veins throughout there. So those big different color veins, that's granite. Solid granite veins. I'm gonna try to flip myself around and see if we can get any kind of view here. I'm not sure that we will, but we'll see what we got. We'll take a look. All right, let's go back up here and see if we can see the painted wall. Maybe there's a look right there. I have to back up. I'm about to back up. Yeah. Maybe. Let's take a look here. Boom. Okay, you see the painted wall right there? That's the painted wall right there. And I'll drive back up there in a second to see if we can get a closer view up there. So that's the reason this is a national park more than anything, is that painted wall. That painted wall right there is 2,250 feet tall from the very bottom of it, which is the Gunnison River, up to the peak top at the top. And with that, you can see those inner colors just mixing throughout there. That lighter color there is pure granite. That granite's interlocked through that cliff face, and so very cool. And it's crazy to imagine that this is the tallest cliff face in Colorado. We'll see if I can go up here and see a view of it real quick. If not, we'll just turn back around. I don't know if we got a lot of thicket up here blocking us. Oh, we got even better view up here. Okay, cool. Check it out. There it is right there. And yeah, awesome. Painted wall right here. Looks amazing. And then again, up here down that track, and I will just pull up here and show you. In my video series, I highlight it quite a bit, but you can see the very next point up here is Dragon's Point, but it's like 300 yards off the trail, so you can't really see anything. But you can see these trees all throughout here. Those are all Utah junipers, and they only are at that Dragon's Point and then at the high point at the very top. They're in those two spots, and that's it here at the park. But again, those are all prehistoric juniper trees, and there were a few out here I would say were probably in contention for the best like condition Utah junipers on the planet for their age. So pretty cool. All right, roll past the chasm view here and keep on going down towards the visitor center. Yesterday I was at Dinosaur National Monument for way too long. I thought I was gonna get to this national park last night, but that did not occur. So it is what it is. We're just gonna keep extending the trip, I guess. See how long it takes me to get back home. I expected originally to be gone for 3 days, maybe 4. I've been gone 7 days now. And no matter where I end up, I know when I end up at the Great Sand Dunes National Park, I have an 11.5 hour drive home from there. So we're already adding on a half day to that. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right. Keep rolling around the rim of the canyon here. And so there is a south rim and a north rim of this national park. I would highly recommend that you go to the south rim and make sure you do your research first. The easiest way to do it is just go to the city of Montrose, Colorado, and then you enter the national park from that side. That'll get you where you want to go on the south rim. The south rim is going to have the best views and most of the things that you want to do here. This scenic drive is about an 8-mile drive as we roll around the south rim. Get a lot of good look at this this oak brush on each sides of the car that the bears feed off of. Pretty cool to see that. There's Devil's Overlook. It's about 700 yards off the path, so we will not stop here. We'll keep rolling. There's a couple overlooks that are very close. This is Rock Point, similar situation. There's a couple overlooks that are really close. The farthest one, the closest one, or the farthest one, sorry, was back there. The Devil's Overlook was definitely the farthest one. But a couple of them are about 50 yards. Not too bad. Definitely easy to get to. For us, it's going to be a matter of what the Starlink will connect us to while we do it. Just rolling through the rim right here. Wish we could see a black bear out here. Now, if you stand at some of these overlooks long enough, you will see peregrine falcons. They're an endangered species, but they are out here. I saw a couple of them flying around. It's pretty cool. I haven't seen a lot of other animals other than just a million chipmunks. And then I went on a couple trails, and once in a while you'll hear a rattle and kind of make yourself dart the other way just to be safe. And we're going to keep rolling around here. We should have another overview coming up soon. Lots of foliage out here. I think that there's a lot of rafting going on here for sure. I passed a ton of people with their whitewater rafting equipment. So this is another one this is actually a rock overview on my left side here that you can walk to. It's not a man-made structure, so it's pretty cool to stand out there because you're just sitting on this rock and nothing blocking you from just falling 1,800 feet down. We got the canyon on the left side now. Work our way towards the end of the south rim. Roll on. So at least 4 of the national parks I've been to so far are known for bears. I have not seen a single bear. That's disappointing. And then 3 of them have been known for big cats. And I want to see some of those mountain lions. So I know the mountain lions are much harder to see, but I've seen a lot of bighorn sheep this trip so far. Good number of those. And they're excellent climbers. They are the best. So not surprised there. My Starlink's holding up better today, it looks like. I reinstalled it a different way into my ceiling panel. And so far, so good. not bad. I think if we have a smooth ride, I think it's okay. And we're just rolling around the rim. A little windy, but nothing scary. There's a couple spots where you get the open sign that says no shoulder, and then you kind of look over the side, and it's like all the way down into the canyon. And I guess you'd be in deep trouble then. But other than that, it's an easy drive. Nothing too wild. More views of the canyon over there on that side. As we keep rolling. Check that out. A lot of haziness from the wildfires. Otherwise, with the sun being as high as it is now, we should see a lot more of the mountains, but they are super hazy. I woke up in Montrose this morning and it smelled like the town was on fire, but there's no fire alerts, so I don't know if it's just from everywhere else in Colorado and Utah that have wildfires going on right now. But when I went to bed last night, it definitely was not like that. But when I woke up at like 4:45, it's just, you could see the smoke in the air, smelled like something was on fire close to you. All right, here's the canyon as we keep going. Check that out. Keep rolling around the south rim. And rolling up past the visitor center. I'll roll around the loop there, and then we'll just keep going back around there. So this is the visitor center. They were not open when I was here earlier, but there's a decent viewpoint out here that people do a lot of the sunrise view. So if you're ever out here at this national park, go to this Gunnison Point. It's actually a part of the visitor center, look right behind it. And then you'll be able to see that north rim across the way here that we're looking at right now. And sorry for all the bugs, y'all. I cleaned it right before I got into the park. But you'll be able to see that entire north rim over there. And again, that north rim gets about 23% sunlight, and the south rim gets to like 67, something like that. And so with that, what happens is that north rim has like more of those sheer cliff faces that are straight up and down. So when you look across the way here, that north rim is very steep. It's just almost straight up and down. Those north rims are the ones that you'd use to go rock climbing, that kind of stuff, to climb the cliff faces. The south side here, since it gets so much sun, it is sloped a little bit, so it's not as steep. So it's quite interesting how that's worked out over time. But the rocks in front of you, you're seeing some rocks that are 2 to 4 billion years old, not up on the mountain, but down into the canyon. That's metamorphic rock. And at the very bottom of this canyon is the Gunnison River with some heavy rapids. All right, roll around here. Keep going. A little small visitor center, not the biggest one. Now, if you are close to a national park, it is July 3rd today, isn't it? Sure it is. Today's July 3rd, and you can get in free. And I believe that counts for all national monuments, national, all that stuff. I don't know about state parks. It's probably going to depend on your state. Probably want to check your state's websites, but anything national park, national monument, national historic, whatever, is free today, tomorrow, Sunday. So if you're close to a national park, go for free. Doesn't cost you anything. And some of our national parks are pretty pricey. Like some of them are, $40 a head to get into these days. So if you get out there for free in the next couple of days, go enjoy some nature. Why not? All right, here's Tomichi Point. See if I'll roll back through there and see if we can see anything from the car. Flip around here. There have not been very many people at this park today. This has probably been the least populated park out of them. Now, granted, it's 8:30 and I got into the park at like 5:15. But check that out. Awesome. Down into the canyon, the very bottom of the canyon. You can't see it because of the haze from the wildfires right now, but that is the Gunnison River down there. at the bottom of the canyon. But what a view. Look at all those mountains. That's crazy. Great view out here. And you can see this is the south rim that we're driving on now. You can see how it's more sloped than that north rim is, but pretty sick view. All right. That's Tomichi Point. That's the very first stop after you get into the park, and I would argue that it's probably one of the best views right at the beginning. And I will just grab the phone real quick and run it out. I have my Starlink in my ceiling. I think we should be okay. Let me just grab real quick and run you out there and show you down in the canyon. And hopefully we can see the Gunnison River. All right. We're getting out, y'all. If the stream cuts, then you know it's because I took you to see the Gunnison. And down at the very bottom down there, you can barely see it because of the wildfire haze, but the Gunnison River is flowing right down through there. And south rim, north rim, and this is the canyon. Pretty crazy. Alrighty, let's get rolling. For some reason, we're a little blurry. I think the sun's doing us in a little bit, not doing us any favors. All right, let's keep rolling. There we go, that cleaned up. Just get that sun out of our eyes. All right, heading towards the exit. And it will not be long before we get there. But overall, that's pretty much the gist of what Black Canyon of the Gunnison has to offer from a sights and views point of view. Now, if you are more advantageous, then there's rock climbing to the heart's extent out here. I would say this is definitely one of the best rock climbing national parks for sure. And if that's your thing, if you like whitewater rafting, absolutely one of the national parks for you as well. Got a lot of adventure sports you could do throughout this national park. But if you're in for the views, I would say it's probably good for a half day. Spend a half day at this park. Go check out all the views, take a nice stroll around, take the top off the Bronco. Why not? Let the wind blow through your hair. And I believe we're close to the exit. I think so. Yeah, here's the campground sign one way, and then the exit is going to be the other. And sign to Montrose. As we exit the south rim here. And that east portal road will take you down into the canyon on this side. It is a lot of switchback driving. I'm not going to go down there. There's nothing visually we're going to get here. We definitely will lose service pretty quickly from the Starlink. But just so you know, if you come into the park, I would stay on the south rim scenic view first. And then if you want to actually go down to the canyon, It will be a drive. And again, the south rim is definitely the recommendation on where to go. See, we roll towards the park sign here. It's going to be off on the left side. Somebody's got their tripod set up. Sit up there here. Think we can get it higher. No canyon over here. We're outside of it. All right, y'all. That's a wrap. Oh, I thought I was gonna be looking at the sign in the window, and I didn't. Look, I blew it. Hold on. See if we can get. If I can back up. If I can back up, we can get it. Right? You think we can? I think we can. No, we didn't get to the people. Never mind. We're letting it go. All right. We're at the exit sign right there. You can see the national park sign over my shoulder of Black Canyon, the Gunnison National Park. Appreciate y'all joining me for this one. I'll have another one again today at Mesa Verde National Park. Maybe a third one. We'll see how it goes. Appreciate y'all following along. Have a good day. Go to your national parks, state parks, UNESCO sites, the national parks, monuments, everything free July 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Get out there. Y'all take care.